by the way, Real Madrid can wrap up La Liga this weekend against Espanyol. And that would mean that Ancelotti, by the way, is a point away from becoming the first manager to win all of Europe's top 5 league titles, which is pretty impressive. But City still in a zero margin for error in the Premier League as well. Do you think, everybody, and Michael, I'll ask you first and you jump in, JJ, after that, but everybody watching and chiming in, do you think that affects the second leg? Just how much more they have to do domestically, both Man City and Real Madrid, Michael?
I think it's in City's favor, the fact that they have that stimulus of the pressure from the league. It heightens your focus as a player. The fact that Madrid came out slow, I think it's a fact that they've already pretty much wrapped up La Liga. So you come in with a feel-good vibe. Madrid were playing like they were just getting up from a siesta. Not just a weekend siesta, but a week-long siesta, with how they showed up, almost expecting the red carpet to be rolled out, expecting Benzema to just get out of the gates early like he's done in the last couple of weeks. But this is a City team that just put a ass whooping, if I may. We're turning the family show from rated G to PG, maybe rated R.
No, man, we say anything. Okay, PG. Yeah, don't worry about it.
But, I think now that Madrid, they will have a game that is of significance. I think it's going to be another blockbuster matchup. The one thing we know about the Bernabeu is that there will be goals. For the last 7 years, there will be goals. From its inception, there will be goals. And I think really that favors the Real Madrid side, who that crowd is so volatile. It's almost like the mob in Rome. When the mob is with you, you can do anything. You feel like the Invincibles. When the mob turns against you, oh man, you are looking for the nearest diaper you can find because you're about to be cagado.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I'm really curious to see how this one plays out in the second leg, what decisions get made. Like we said, Ancelotti kind of underlining that elite status with the fact that he may well be the first coach to have won all 5 league titles by the time we get round to the second leg. But in terms of the rest, there's not really much Real could have done, because it's not like they chose to rest the players, which just because it was the Spanish Cup final weekend that they played so early and had so many days, before this first leg. I'm not so sure that, Ancelotti will look to rest too many players ahead of the game. Maybe he'll look to try and get some players back into action so they're not coming into it completely cold. Like, for example, if he can give Casemiro, I don't know, say like 15 minutes or so, I think that will be really important. Because like I said, I feel like that was missing from a potentially winning game plan for Real Madrid, having Casemiro in the midfield. If he was there, I think there would have been enough balance to this Real Madrid performance to not concede as many goals as they did.
Especially the first one, JJ. De Bruyne just went in there, eased his way in there inside the box. If you had somebody like Casemiro, you know that his first job is to obviously try and obstruct that. It's a major thing. It's not going to be the same game as the first leg, absolutely. And by the way, just back to Michael Lahoud's point, I think people overthink too much when it comes to, they don't have to worry about the league, so now they can focus on the Champions League. There is such a thing. I see it in many ways like baseball, where like your pitcher is like, he's feeling it. Like, you don't want to talk to him. You don't want to, if a team is feeling it, like Real Madrid is feeling it, keep the games coming, keep the intensity coming. Man City and Real Madrid have enough depth to play around with it. As you mentioned, JJ, Casemiro wants to get some minutes this weekend, etc. But these teams want to keep going in order to keep that momentum going as well. And yes, ace of them spades. I agree. I think Alaba was not 100%, and that was probably...
Yeah, I think that's a generous 70.
Yeah, the 50%. Maybe. By the way, we have another call to action for everybody. We had a poll on social, and thank you so much for being part of the family. We've passed 11,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Make sure that you like, subscribe, spread the word, and jump in on the comments, because I got one for you here from the poll, and I'll ask the boys as well. Michael, I'll ask you first, and JJ, you jump as well. But who would you rather have? Michael, I know what you're going to have to say to me. Who would you rather have in your team, Karim Benzema or Kevin De Bruyne? What do you think?
Oh, man. It depends what competition I want to win.
Okay, you want to win the Champions League. What do you want?
Get your Garfield the cat, El Gato, get your beards out, get your captain's armband in, because Kareem, the mofo and dream, is back. I pick him to lead my team. And then for a league title, I love Kevin De Bruyne. I love the fact that he can bring other players in. Big game player. Both players showed it today. But Champions League, Karim Benzema has Champions League title winning experience. Got to go with Les Frenchman.
All right. Well, JJ?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, we're basically picking between the two key players from each team, so it's it's arguably the strongest of the two sides. I mean, I'm with Mike. I think I would lean towards Benzema, certainly in a Champions League setup at this moment in time. The only other thing I guess I would add as well is that it's great to have De Bruyne, back fully fit. But that fitness has become a bit more of an issue over the last season or so. I don't feel you have as much of that just yet with Benzema. So I think also with Benzema, you have perhaps more of a guarantee, if that exists, that he's going to be fit more often than De Bruyne, certainly over the length of a season.
I have a question for you guys, and it was something I was looking at when I was watching the game. Initially, I thought if both wingers, think of Vinicius Jr. and Riyad Mahrez, if they were just a little bit cleaner, this storyline would be about the two wingers for either team. Which one of those two would you rather have in your team?
One of who? Give me the name.
Either Vinicius Jr. or Riyad Mahrez.
I'm going
Vinicius
Mahrez.
Jr.
Ooh,
wow, look at that.
Whoa, there we go.
I haven't.
Go on.
It's tricky because it's a difficult question. I think part of my answer is because I have this emotional connection to Vinicius Jr. He was my first ever article I wrote for Sports Illustrated, kind of like my legend. But Riyad Mahrez, he showed me something today that I haven't seen in a while, which Vinicius Jr., I mean, let's not forget, by the way, up there in the list of assists, especially this season in the Champions League. But Riyad Mahrez showed me today just the other plethora of talent that he can offer from a visionary perspective. That ball for Kevin De Bruyne in the beginning was absolutely stunning. I'm going to go with Vinicius Jr. I love like a Brazilian winger that gives like Denilson was my favorite, like growing up and stuff. Vinicius sometimes gives me that feel, but you choose Riyad Mahrez, JJ. I'm not going to go against it. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's a tight run thing for sure, and I think as well the French bias sort of plays into my thinking there as well. But I mean, I think it's important to bear in mind that Mahrez coming into that match, was City's highest score in the Champions League this season, and made the most contributions, towards them getting to where they are, and I think that often gets lost. Under some of the other star contributions within the team, certainly De Bruyne, Mahrez has almost become kind of a little underrated. I mean, I think he scored 3 or 4 goals for City in last season's semi-finals against PSG.
So
he has that ability to single-handedly lead them. When perhaps players aren't able to step up to the plate, he's the one who's able to seize that moment and provided some magic again today.